Have you ever paused long enough to ask yourself why it's essential to focus on you? In a world saturated with noise, surface-level conversations, and endless comparisons, have you taken the time to truly listen to yourself? This is that moment, the invitation to go inward, to tune out the static, to stop chasing approval, to step off the stage and into your own depth. I challenge you to do exactly that. Not tomorrow, not when it's convenient, now because nothing changes until you do. Instead of asking, "What do they think of me?" ask, "Who could I become if I gave my full focus to self-development?" Picture this. You're standing on the third step of your personal journey. It's familiar, it's comfortable, but you know there are 10 steps in front of you. You've gotten used to where you are, but you weren't built to settle here. The real question is, will you push? Will you climb? Not because anyone told you to, but because something inside you knows there's more. Because growth isn't about proving yourself to the world. It's about discovering what's been buried beneath years of distraction, doubt, and delay. This path won't be easy. When you start focusing on yourself, you'll stand out. And when you stand out, you invite resistance, doubt, criticism, even ridicule. But let me ask you, are you willing to trade temporary comfort for lasting fulfillment? That's the price of self-mastery. And this message? It's your starting point. Focus on self-improvement. Focusing on yourself means more than taking breaks or indulging in rest. It's a long-term commitment to knowing yourself, caring for yourself, and developing yourself mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. It's not selfish, it's foundational. You wouldn't neglect a relationship with someone you love, so why do it to yourself? By choosing to focus on your inner world, you begin to explore your true capacity. You begin to live, not by default, but by design. Stoic philosophy reminds us of this. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." The world around you will always fluctuate. External judgments, opinions, and expectations aren't yours to control. But your thoughts, your growth, your choices, those are always within reach. Picture this. You're standing on the edge of a vast shoreline. The waves? They're distractions. Social media, comparison, other people's timelines. If you don't anchor your focus inward, you'll be swept away, caught chasing everything but yourself. Now consider the story of a young artist. Every day they sit in front of a blank canvas. But instead of feeling inspired, they're overwhelmed. They scroll through the polished work of great painters and think, "I'll never be that good." Comparison clouds their progress. Doubt creeps in. They hesitate. They almost stop. But then, something shifts. They choose a different mindset. Instead of seeing others' success as a threat, they begin to see it as proof of what's possible. They return to the canvas, not to compete, but to express, to evolve, to master their own style. That is the quiet power of focusing on your own journey. You stop measuring yourself against others and start measuring yourself against who you were yesterday. That's where real growth lives. So today, choose the step beyond comfort. Choose clarity over comparison. Choose progress over perfection. Choose you, because no one else can walk this path for you. And if you're ready for that shift, don't just think about it. Commit. How can I paint better today than I did yesterday? They dedicate time to learning, blending colors to add depth, experimenting with brush techniques, and painting the same subject again and again to track their progress. Instead of seeking validation from others, they find a quiet joy in the act of creation itself. Each painting becomes a milestone, a reminder that the process is what truly matters. Over time, the artist not only sharpens their skills, but discovers a personal style. a unique voice that would have remained hidden if they had stayed trapped in constant comparison. By turning their focus inward, the artist opens the door to becoming their most authentic self. Now ask yourself, when was the last time you truly listened to your own thoughts, free from distractions? Are you living by someone else's standards or carving out your own path? What about today makes you feel proud, happy, or fulfilled when you reflect on it? These aren't just questions. They are tools to help you realign your mind with your own direction. Focusing on yourself doesn't mean avoiding distractions alone. It means investing time and energy into growing your inner potential. This journey isn't easy. It calls for patience, courage, and persistence. But every small step moves you closer to the best version of yourself. Consider someone who loves cooking but has never tried complex recipes. Instead of just enjoying meals, they start learning, from choosing ingredients and spices to blending flavors. Failures come, burnt dishes, unbalanced tastes, but with each attempt, they grow more skilled and begin to savor the joy of creating something uniquely their own. Exploring and pushing personal limits is vital to growth. In Stoicism, this is like training a muscle. Growth happens through effort and challenge. Take learning a new language, for example. The first days are frustrating. You struggle with grammar, mispronounce words, and feel like you're failing. But with steady practice, you begin to build vocabulary, understand structure, and communicate with confidence. This journey expands your boundaries and brings a deep sense of accomplishment. Focusing on yourself is both beautiful and demanding. When you put yourself first and commit to growth, you will face criticism and doubt, both from outside and within. How do you stay steady against these voices? How do you keep moving forward despite pressure and skepticism? We'll explore this in the next section, diving into how to overcome mental barriers and find true freedom. Overcoming criticism and doubt. Do you find yourself more often judging or doubting your own efforts than you'd like? Do you hesitate to take on new challenges or pursue what you really want? Are you tired of feeling small, unworthy, or uncertain? If this sounds familiar, know that you're not alone. Fear and self-doubt are common companions on the path to meaningful goals, especially when those goals don't fit the conventional mold others expect. But if you're ready to release those limiting thoughts, let Stoic philosophy be your guide toward confidence and inner strength. One truth you need to accept first is this: criticism and doubt are inevitable. Uncommon goals confuse and unsettle others because they challenge what's familiar. Sometimes criticism isn't about your growth at all. It's about the limits of someone else's thinking. Often, those critical voices come from their own insecurities, triggered when they see you daring to do what they won't. Imagine this. You're a sports enthusiast, and you decide to run a marathon. You've never been much of a runner, but you want to try. Almost immediately, questions arise. Can you handle it? Are you sure? Isn't it a waste of time? These doubts don't just shake your confidence. They stir up silent fears inside you. But here's the pivotal moment. Will you stop because of those doubts, or will you use them as fuel to move forward? Stoic philosophy teaches us one powerful truth. While we cannot control what others say or think, we can always control how we respond. Think of criticism as a test of your mental strength. Instead of letting it discourage you, transform it into motivation. Marcus Aurelius said it best: "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Challenges, opposition, and doubt aren't roadblocks. They are opportunities to grow stronger. Take Andrea, for example, a 45-year-old woman with a gentle smile and eyes full of determination. When she announced her desire to learn the violin, skepticism flooded in. "You're 45 and want to learn an instrument? It's too late. Don't make a fool of yourself." Instead of arguing or explaining, Andrea chose silence. She understood that not everyone could see her dream through her eyes. Day after day in her quiet room, Andrea practiced, learning to hold the bow, producing her first notes. The music wasn't always perfect, but she never wavered. Every effort was a step closer to her goal. Those who mocked her sometimes heard faint strains of music, but no one believed she would truly succeed. A year later, Andrea stepped onto a community concert stage with her violin. As she played, the room fell silent, captivated by the emotion in her music, including those who once ridiculed her. When she finished, thunderous applause filled the space. Andrea didn't just respond with sound. She showed that persistent action and calm confidence are more powerful than any defense. Her journey reminds us, it's never too late to start, and actions speak louder than words. When doubt creeps in, ask yourself, are these words true? Do they reflect who I am, or are they just someone else's opinion? This is a key Stoic practice, refusing to let emotions cloud your judgment. If you feel unsure about joining a new team or taking on a challenge, reflect. I may not be the best yet, but am I practicing and improving every day? Focus on what you control, effort, learning, discipline, and watch self-doubt lose its grip. Critics will always exist, but their voices don't need to dictate your path. Instead, turn your focus inward. Seneca wisely said, "It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that they are difficult." Remember, you don't need anyone's approval to pursue your goals. One practical way to strengthen this mindset is simple. Take a few moments each day to remind yourself why you started. Write down your goals, why they matter, and how they will help you become the person you want to be. When your vision is clear, the noise from others fades away. Your life is yours. What you do today shapes your future, not the opinions of others. Ask yourself, if I don't act now, will I regret it later? Dare to face criticism and doubt, not as obstacles, but as catalysts for your growth. If you've ever overcome criticism or doubt to achieve something meaningful, share your story in the comments. You might inspire others and remind us all that when we focus on ourselves, we become unstoppable. Belief and perseverance. Persistence of belief means holding on to your convictions, even when evidence challenges them. This applies to all beliefs, about yourself, others, and how the world works. It includes prejudices and stereotypes, but most importantly, it involves belief in yourself. One of the strongest foundations for success is self-belief. When you truly believe you can overcome challenges, that belief becomes the fuel that drives you to act. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher, reminded us, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Believing in yourself isn't just positive thinking. It's a deliberate choice to embrace your capabilities regardless of circumstances. But this kind of belief doesn't come automatically. It must be nurtured through reflection and positive experience. Consider this example. You believe your colleague John is incompetent because of a mistake he made years ago. But since then, John has consistently proven his skills by managing complex projects successfully. Yet, you cling to that old belief. This not only does John an injustice, it blinds you to his true value. The same can happen to you. Maybe you think you're terrible at public speaking because of a rough experience in high school. Even though you've since delivered successful presentations and received praise, you still hold on to that negative idea. Here, persistence in belief becomes a trap, holding you back rather than pushing you forward. Instead of accepting your growth, you let old thoughts undermine your confidence. A key part of maintaining self-belief is avoiding a negative mindset. Philosophy teaches us to focus on what's within our control. When negative thoughts dominate, they limit your abilities and close doors to growth. This doesn't mean ignoring challenges. It means shifting how you see them. Imagine you had an important interview that didn't go as planned. You tell yourself, "This proves I'm not good enough. I'll never succeed." These thoughts become chains that imprison you in fear and doubt. As a result, you avoid new chances, afraid to fail again. But what if you looked at it differently? That failure, though painful, is a lesson. It reveals where you need to improve, maybe more preparation, better communication skills, or deeper knowledge. With this mindset, failure is not the end, but a stepping stone on your path. Other doors will open, as long as you have the courage to keep moving forward. A positive mindset and belief in yourself are keys to breaking free from the prison of doubt. A liberated mind, free of fear, will find solutions even in tough situations. Remember, failure is just one chapter, not the whole story. One of Stoicism's greatest lessons is to accept failure as part of life. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." See each failure as an opportunity to grow. This means reshaping your beliefs about failure, from a stop sign into a stepping stone. Returning to John, imagine he finally changes his mind about you and recognizes your success fairly. This not only improves your relationship, but opens doors for better collaboration. Likewise, when you challenge your own negative beliefs, like thinking you're bad at public speaking, you'll discover those limits were only in your imagination. The power of steadfast beliefs lies in their ability to transform when you embrace new truths and see yourself more clearly. It's not about abandoning beliefs, but adjusting them to fit reality. A practical way to build belief and perseverance is through honest inner dialogue. Ask yourself, why do I believe this? What evidence contradicts this belief? These questions bring clarity and help build confidence based on reality, not outdated assumptions. Persistence of belief can be a double-edged sword. Used well, it motivates you to overcome obstacles and succeed. Misused, it traps you in negativity and missed opportunities. Learn to balance perseverance with flexibility. Believing in yourself matters, but even more important is knowing when to adapt your beliefs to the truth. Don't let biases about yourself or others blind you to reality and your true potential. Believe, act, and persist, not with blind faith, but with wisdom and courage. Only by focusing on yourself and pushing beyond your limits can you achieve great things and live a meaningful life. This is the heart of Stoic philosophy, living fully and fearlessly. Every morning before the rush of the day takes over, I pause and ask myself, am I truly living with purpose? If today were my last day, would I have regrets? Honestly, the answer for me has often been yes. I've lived with fears that held me back from stepping into the life I really want. Fear can keep us captive, quietly, invisibly. But here's the truth. The path to freedom, the kind of freedom that lets you live fully and fearlessly, is through facing those fears head-on. It's about embracing risk, pushing your limits, and opening yourself up to new experiences. Not recklessness, but courage. The courage to confront yourself, your doubts, and the boundaries you've set. Take my friend Miranda, for example. When she was battling cancer, she came face to face with what truly matters. She realized life isn't just about surviving, it's about living. In her weakest moments, she learned that unconditional self-love isn't a luxury. It's essential to healing and survival. Loving herself, flaws and all, became her greatest strength. She told me once, "Love yourself as if your life depends on it, because it does." Not everyone understands that until they look back and see the moments they put themselves last. Sacrificed dreams, bowed to others' expectations, or let fear build invisible walls around their potential. Miranda's illness taught her a powerful lesson. Her purpose is to be herself and to express that self fearlessly. But that only happened when she first learned to truly love herself. With self-love came freedom. Freedom from needing to please others. freedom to live fully. Maybe you feel that too. The difference between understanding self-love in theory and actually practicing it. Society often discourages self-love, labeling it selfish or wrong. That leaves many of us chasing approval, never quite grasping our own worth. But imagine what happens if you flip that story. If you start living without fear and embrace unconditional self-love, life becomes brighter, fuller. Opportunities you never imagined open up. You dare to step outside your comfort zone, challenge yourself, take risks, and achieve things you once thought impossible. Think about it. When do you feel most alive? Often, it's when you're pushing beyond what you know, facing new challenges. Success has no meaning without struggle, and joy is sweeter when earned. To live fearlessly, you need courage. The courage to pursue a life you love. Not just the life others expect of you, or the one filled with obligations, but a life you can be proud of. When you dare to face challenges, you learn that life isn't about waiting for calm seas. It's about learning to surf the waves. But living fearlessly isn't just about overcoming external challenges. It's about conquering yourself, your deepest fears, self-doubt, and the paralysis that comes from fearing failure. True courage means accepting failure as part of the journey, knowing every road to success has its bumps. Looking back on my own journey, I'm grateful for these lessons. I've learned not just to live without fear, but to live with purpose. It's not only about becoming my best self. It's about leaving a mark, inspiring others, and helping them realize they too can live meaningfully. And that leads us to the next step: purpose and dedication. If you've ever wondered what makes life truly worthwhile, the answer lies in your commitment to your goals and the meaning you create. Dare to live, dare to love, dare to be yourself. Because only when you connect deeply with your purpose can you truly live a fulfilling life. Join me as we explore this final chapter, building dedication and meaning, not just as a destination, but as a lifelong journey to create a life you're proud of. Purpose and dedication. Have you ever paused to wonder what truly matters most in your life? Is it the applause of others, or the quiet dreams that rest deep within your heart? It's not an easy question, but it's one you must face if you want to live a life that feels meaningful. Picture yourself standing atop a tall mountain. Below, a misty path stretches ahead, leading to the very things you've longed for. Inside you, a small flame flickers. That flame is your dream, unique to you, waiting to be kindled. Yet instead of stepping forward, you sit, looking around, waiting for others to weigh in on your dream. This hesitation, this need for external approval, is a common trap. But life doesn't ask you to compete with anyone else. It asks you to focus on one thing: yourself, your dreams, your purpose. Everyone's journey is different, and focus, that steady compass, will guide you where you need to go. Ask yourself, what makes me feel truly alive? What am I willing to trade my time, effort, even failures for? Imagine someone committed to improving their health. They decide to walk for 30 minutes every day, rain or shine. At first, it feels easy. The sky is clear, the air fresh. But soon, challenges come. One day, rain pours down, cold and relentless. Standing at the door, they hesitate. Should they wait it out? Then they remember why they started. Pulling on a raincoat, stepping into soaked shoes, each step becomes a quiet declaration. I will not give up. The days grow busier. Work demands more time, meetings stretch longer. That half-hour walk turns into a test of discipline. But instead of resting, they get up and walk, making every moment count. Muscles ache. Fatigue sets in. Others say, take a break, it won't hurt. But they don't listen. Pain and criticism don't defeat them. This teaches us something vital. Consistency and steady effort are the true keys to lasting achievement. Look closely, and you'll see that anything worthwhile demands unwavering commitment. Successful people aren't always the smartest or luckiest. They're simply the ones who know what they want and keep moving forward. Stoic philosophy reminds us, life is never fully in our control. But what is in our control is our habits, our focus, and our dedication. This isn't just theory, it's a practical way to live. Back to our walker. Each day they strengthen not only their body, but their confidence. Through consistent small actions, they transform into someone stronger. No matter what challenges come, they've learned how to keep going. And so can you. Think back. When was the last time you gave up? Maybe you started to learn something new but stopped when it got tough. Or began a journey of self-change, only to quit when results didn't show fast enough. Giving up is not the end because you weren't good enough. It's the end because you stopped trying. Look closely at reality. There is no path to success without challenges. But if you keep going, no matter how hard it gets, you always keep the door open for success. On the other hand, giving up closes that door forever. Stoic philosophy teaches us a powerful mindset for dealing with difficulties. When faced with a challenge, ask yourself, is this within my control? If yes, take action. If no, let it go. But never abandon your dreams out of fear or impatience. Think of a small stream flowing down a mountain. It never stops, even when it must find a way around huge rocks or fall from great heights. Each tiny drop persists, and over time, that stream carves out magnificent canyons. First, set a clear goal. Don't let your dream stay a vague idea. Turn it into a concrete plan with small, manageable steps. Second, take action every day. Progress doesn't have to be giant leaps. Just keep moving forward. Third, guard your attention. Your focus is your most valuable resource. Protect it from distractions. And finally, control your thoughts. Remember, you can't control everything life throws your way, but you can control how you respond. Life is your journey, and only you have the right to choose its direction. When you concentrate on yourself, your goals, and your dreams, you'll discover a strength inside you never knew existed. Consistency and small daily actions add up to great achievements. No matter how tough things get, as long as you don't give up, you haven't truly failed. Are you ready to focus on yourself? Your dreams are waiting. Take that first step today. We've explored a powerful lesson from Stoic philosophy. Focus on yourself. In a noisy world, taking time to understand yourself, build inner confidence, and release what's beyond your control is a vital journey. We may not be able to change everything around us, but we always have a choice. How we respond, how we live, and how we grow. Remember, silence, calmness, and commitment to your core values are not just strengths, they are forms of freedom. This is how you take charge of your life. Walk confidently. Don't let anyone or any situation control your mood, your goals, or your energy. Stay steadfast on your path of growth and focus on what truly matters. By doing this every day, you'll begin to see positive change take shape. After watching this video, how do you feel about its message? Please select the response that best reflects your opinion. 1. Strongly disagree. 2. Disagree. 3. Neutral. 4. Agree. 5. Strongly agree. If you found this video helpful, please like it to help spread the message. Don't forget to share it with friends and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss future inspiration. Turn on notifications to stay updated with new content. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.